Good afternoon. We'll begin today's meeting with an invocation from Fire Captain Troy Holtorf.
Father, we thank you for this great privilege to come together as one and pray here today. May it never be just a box we check, but rather a time when our hearts are checked. May today's meeting be one that honors you. God, you have shown us what it looks like to lead and shepherd a people. Carve our hearts with a character like yours. May love and faithfulness never leave us. Help us to trust in you, Lord, with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our might. Help us not to lean on our own understanding, but in all our ways to acknowledge you. God, we ask for your wisdom. Lord, you say that if we can lay hold of wisdom, that she is a tree of life, and blessed are those who hold her tightly. And as we gather today, would you lead us, Father? Would you work through all of your people in a way that is good in your eyes? We just want to honor you, God. We know you love us so much, so we ask for your help today. We pray for everyone in this room, for our city council members, our elected officials, our leaders, our firefighters, police officers, for all of our city workers, and for every Phoenix citizen. Please help us, Father. We know you are a good dad. We know you are faithful, and we know we can trust you. May today's agenda flow from that knowledge. May the discussion be from you and for you, and may you show us the way. May your wisdom, discernment, peace, love, and joy guide us today. May this be your city, God. We thank you. It's in Christ Jesus that we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Captain, please remain standing. Councilwoman O'Brien will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Councilwoman O'Brien. We'll call to order the formal meeting for April 3rd, 2024. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilwoman Guardado.
Here.
Councilwoman Hodge-Washington.
Here.
Councilwoman O'Brien.
Here.
Councilwoman Pastor.
Here.
Councilman Robinson.
Here.
Councilman Waring. Vice Mayor Stark.
Here.
Mayor Gallego.
Here. Mario Barajas and Elsie Duarte are with us to provide Spanish interpretation. Mario, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Hello, my name is Mario Barajas, as previously mentioned, and together with Elsie Duarte, we'll be serving as today's Spanish interpreters. Now I'm going to introduce ourselves to our Spanish-speaking audience. Buenas tardes, yo soy Mario Barajas y junto con mi colega Elsie Duarte estaremos sirviéndoles como intérpretes a los de habla hispana hoy. Deseamos pedirles de antemano, si es que van a dar un comentario público, por favor, hable despacio, con claridad y evite tener distracciones de fondo. Y finalmente, pause después de cada una o dos oraciones para que podamos interpretarles lo que esté diciendo de la manera más completa posible. Gracias. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mario. Will the city clerk please read the 24-hour paragraph?
The titles of the following ordinance and resolution numbers on the agenda were available to the public at least 24 hours prior to this council meeting and therefore may be read by title or agenda item only. Ordinances number G7242 through 7245, S5070, S50707 through 50751, and resolutions 22188 through 22191.
Thank you. I'll turn to the city attorney to explain public comment and its role in city council meetings.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the public may speak for up to 2 minutes to comment on agenda items. Comments must be related to the agenda item and the action being considered by the council. General comments that go beyond the scope of the agenda item must be made in the citizen comment session at the end of the agenda. The City Council and staff cannot discuss or comment on matters related to pending investigations, claims, or litigation. Additionally, any member of the public who appears before council in their capacity as a lobbyist must, as required by Phoenix City Code, disclose this fact before addressing council. The City Code requires speakers to present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. Profane language, threats, or personal attacks on members of the public, council members, or staff are not allowed. A person who violates these rules will lose the opportunity to continue to speak.
Thank you. We'll next move to the meeting minutes. Councilwoman Guardado, do you have a motion on item 1?
Motion to approve item 1.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. Councilwoman O'Brien, do you have a motion on item 2?
I move to approve item 2.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay.
Aye. Aye.
Passes unanimously. Councilman Robinson, do you have a motion on item 3?
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve item number 3.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. Item 4 is boards and commissions as revised. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Very happy and very excited to see several great residents from District 3 on this agenda. I move to approve the boards and commissions nomination as revised.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Aye.
We will now conduct a swearing-in ceremony. Wonderful. Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Ed Hermes,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Arizona,
and the Constitution and laws of the State of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of the office of
discharge the duties of the office of the Division 0 Street Safety Committee, the Rio Vista Village Planning Committee,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, and thank you so much for serving our community. The council members would like to personally congratulate you if you'd like to go behind the dais.
Thanks again.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to our new commissioners. So many of the most important policies developed through our boards and commissions, and so many of our community leaders serve in this capacity. Welcome aboard or welcome back. The City Council serves as an advisory role for the state of Arizona on liquor licenses. We will turn to that portion of our agenda next. Vice Mayor Stark, do you have a motion on liquor?
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve items 5 through 21, except item 21.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Item 21 is in Council District 5. I will turn, I guess before we turn to Councilman Guardado for a motion, we will turn to the City Clerk's office and Officer Chester to provide comments. We'll begin with Deputy City Clerk Benavides. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Kristen Lakire Benavides, Deputy City Clerk with the City Clerk's Office. With me today is Officer Samantha Chester with the Phoenix Police Department. This request is for acquisition of control for an existing Series 12 restaurant liquor license. This location is currently licensed for liquor sales. The 60-day limit for processing this application is April 4th, 2024. Staff recommends disapproval of this application based on a police department recommendation for disapproval. The police department disapproval is based upon concerns with the applicant's employment history and involvement with locations with a history of liquor license violations. The applicant has not demonstrated the capability, qualifications, and reliability to hold and control a liquor license.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Officer Samantha Chester. I work at the Cactus Park Precinct. Thank you all for allowing me to be here today to present on this. I'm going to be speaking to everyone on La Constantita Taco and Sushi, located at 2647 West Glendale Avenue. My recommendation of denial of Mr. Vega Caro from obtaining a Series 12 liquor license at La Constantita Taco and Sushi is based off of the following facts that I discovered throughout the course of my investigation after receiving the liquor application. The specific issues are regarding Mr. Vega Caro's past and current employment, prior calls for service by police, a liquor inspection and the results, an enforcement operation and the results, and failing to submit paperwork in a timely manner for a full investigation to be completed by the police department. In regards to the first item, his employment. After receiving the liquor application and while waiting for the city questionnaire, a preliminary review was conducted which showed a majority of the establishments Mr. Vega Caro listed as his previous and current places of employment revealed multiple liquor violations per the Arizona Department of Liquor Licensing Control. It should be noted regarding his previous and current places of employment, Mr. Vega Caro listed his employment began at each of these places in January of 2011 and stated he was still currently working there today. Based on his dates of employment, he listed on the application, my investigation spans from January 2011 to March 6th of 2024 when my denial was authored. In regards to his prior places of employment and the violations that come with it, the first one is going to be Club XTC, which is now La Boom Nightclub, and there was 4 violations by DLLC at that location. The second one was Club Paris. There was 5 liquor violations at this location. In regards to his current places of employment, La Constantita Taco and Sushi, which is the establishment that we're speaking of today, has had 7 liquor violations at that location. The Silverado Canta Bar had 3 violations, and Club Silverado has 14. In regards to the second item, which is calls for service, at Club Silverado, which is one of the establishments that Mr. Vega Caro indicated that he works at, we had an issue in January of 2023. Community action officers and liquor detectives from the state were conducting a liquor inspection at Club Silverado when they observed a male at a bottle service table drinking from the bottle. They informed Mr. Vega Caro, who was on site at the establishment and was listed as the manager in the report, of the violation they were observing. They did inform him the club would be given an administrative violation. In regards to La Constantita, from February 16th, 2023 to February 16th of 2024, I conducted an investigation into the calls for service at this location. Between this time frame, 11 calls for service were specifically linked with La Constantita, which is units 11 through 14. 2 notable violent incidents occurred in this time frame. The first incident was on June 16th of 2021 regarding an aggravated assault with a firearm. The second incident was September 15th of 2021 regarding an assault. In the September 15th report, When the report was authored, Patrol referred to the establishment as a nightclub, which is indicative of the atmosphere the establishment was presenting to customers and police. This establishment has a Series 12 liquor license, and when officers have been inside in the late evening hours, including myself, it gives off an impression that it's operating more as a Series 6 liquor license establishment. Some of the indications that are indicative of that is there's security at the door patting people down. The music is deafening inside, and there is bottle service, all of which do not typically happen at a restaurant with a Series 12 liquor license. Another one of the items, the enforcement operation that was recently conducted by my squad, as well as state liquor detectives from the Department of Liquor License and Control. They had received an anonymous tip that there was underage drinking occurring at La Constantita on Tuesday nights, most notably occurring around midnight. Due to this information, officers and state liquor detectives conducted an enforcement operation on March 5th of 2024, just last month. When our officers and liquor detectives from the state were conducting the enforcement, 4 additional liquor violations were discovered at the establishment. They were advised by the state liquor detectives they would be given another administrative violation. One of these included a violation of ARS 4-244.23, which is serving more than the law allows. This was shown by an individual who was found inside at a bottle service table pouring his own alcohol from a liquor bottle into his own glass. In addition to the liquor violation, it should be noted that bottle service is consistent with a Series 6 liquor license, not a Series 12. And lastly, failure to submit a city questionnaire in time. My investigation summary and recommendation was due to our administrative licensing investigator by March 4th, 2024. The city questionnaire was not given to me until March 5th of 2024, after business hours. This did not allow me sufficient time to schedule and conduct an interview with the applicant while still meeting the deadline required by licensing. And as far as my personal experience goes, before I was in this position, I was a patrol officer in the area. I have responded to La Constantita, the Silverado Cantabar, and Club Silverado on numerous occasions for extremely violent crimes. Due to the aforementioned factors and the fact that the applicant failed to submit the city questionnaire in time for the police department to conduct an interview with him, in accordance with the Arizona Revised Statute 4-203.A, he is not capable, qualified, or reliable to own and operate a liquor license within the city of Phoenix. Thank you.
Thank you, Officer Chester. I'll now turn to Councilwoman Guardado for a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Based on the reasons stated by staff, I move disapproval on item 21.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Before we move to the Omnibus, I would like to welcome our newest Village Planning Commissioner from North Gateway forward. So Kylie, if you would come up and come behind the dais to shake hands and meet the council members. This is Kylie Kennelly, North Gateway Village Planning Commission. Councilwoman Pastor will be serving as an acting vice mayor for this meeting. City Clerk, are we ready for ordinances, resolutions, new business, planning, and zoning?
Yes, Mayor.
Councilwoman Pastor, do you have a motion?
Motion to approve items 22 through 81, except the following. Items 45, 48, 77, 78, 79, and 80. Noting, item 76 is requested to be continued to April 17th, 2024. Item 81 is an add-on, and excluding these additional items for virtual public comment.
Second.
Oh, wait, and then I think, and can the clerk confirm if there are any other items that should be excluded for in-person public comment?
Yes, Mayor, members of the council, also excluding item 43. That's item 43.
Oh, I don't have that on my, okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Item 43 is a resolution to amend the Downtown Enhanced Municipal Services District boundaries to add additional parcels. Councilwoman Pastor, do you have a motion?
I move item 43.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Diane Barker.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I was just wondering, because I haven't heard from planning, if they really are looking at in covering the downtown area. You know, the downtown area is much larger than this enhanced area. Now, I'm looking at the 2022 report from Downtown Phoenix, Inc., and this, you know, extending the bioscience and like that, it looks like it's following the Downtown Phoenix, Inc., but if you look at the downtown zoned area, this is only a quarter of it. And what I'm submitting to you when I go to a meeting, such as my neighborhood meeting, there's the city planning that's coming in and looking to changing the zoning around Portland on down to McKinley, by Central, they say around the light rail, to I forget how many stories, but it's high-rise. So, you know, we're expanding. Plus, we're going to build a high-rise up at McDowell. I submit to you that we need to look at the downtown area, the expansion, and where you're planning these larger properties, and get up with today's future.
Thank you so much for that testimony. This is an exciting item for bioscience. We'll add several properties, including our partners with ASU and U of A, to the district, and we can work even more closely together to advance the great work happening downtown. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Item 45 is a fire code amendment change. Will the city clerk please read the title?
Item 45 is for ordinance G7242, an ordinance authorizing amendments to the 2018 International Fire Code with Phoenix amendments and authorizing modifications to the Phoenix Fire Prevention Fee Schedule, Phoenix City Code, Chapter 15, Appendix A.
Councilwoman Pastor, do you have a motion?
I move item 45.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you to our team as well as the Fire Safety Advisory Board for their important work on this item. Among the components of this vote will be a forward motion on reducing bureaucracy for solar and energy storage. We'll be able to offer a combination permit that will reduce permitting costs by 50% for solar and battery installations at single-family residential locations when they are submitted together. So part of our ongoing effort for sustainability and to reduce red tape. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Item 48 is to apply for firefighting grant assistance. Councilwoman Pastor, do you have a motion?
I move item 48.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is a exciting item. We've been working and talking with the fire chief about this for quite some time. We'll be applying for a federal grant for a very innovative program. We'll be able to, if we're selected for the grant, be able to provide real-time monitoring for firefighters who wish to participate, particularly around heat and some of the stress around physical absorption. I'm very hopeful that this will help us protect our firefighters, particularly when they are working outdoor in temperatures that exceed 100 degrees. We think about heat and the summer year-round at the City of Phoenix, including making sure that we can provide the best support to our own employees. Our fire department has gotten national attention and has even consulted internationally on strategies around heat, and this is another opportunity for us to continue to be innovative and to protect those who protect all of us. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
We next go to the planning and zoning portion of our agenda. Items 77 and 78 are related items at the northwest corner of 67th Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road, so we will hear them together in one hearing, but have two separate votes on this particular item. We'll begin with the public hearing. Mark Cardenas. Okay. We do not see Mark. The other speakers are available to speak if necessary. We just have Jason Morris. Seeing that, not necessary? Thank you. We'll close the public hearing, and I'll turn to Vice Mayor Stark for a motion. First on 77.
Thank you, Mayor. And it's my understanding that the former Councilwoman Ansari wants to be respectful of the work the Planning Commission did to decide to move forward these cases. So with 77, I make the motion to approve per PC recommendation and adopt the related resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor, Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Item 78 is a related item. Vice Mayor Stark.
Thank you. I would like to recommend approval with, per the memo dated April 2nd, 2024, from the Planning and Development Director and the related ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Items 79 and 80 are related items at the northeast corner of 19th Avenue and Tierra Buena Lane. We will again hear them together, but vote on two separately. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. We have everyone is to speak if necessary and all in support, so we don't have anyone. Do we have? Okay, do we have Stephen with us? All right, Stephen, please come down.
For the record, Stephen Nolan, live at the 85023 zip code, have for near 40 years. First, thank you, Mayor and City Council members. I'm here to oppose this item at this time. And the reason I'd like to address it to you is there's many moving parts when dealing with this property, Turf Paradise. It's involved in litigations in which this land isn't tied up in. One that's been going on 14 years, one that's been going on for 10 years against the Racing Commission and the Arizona Department of Racing. The concern is we don't know what's going to happen to the property. The property owner says there is no current buyer. For that reason, I don't see any need for urgency to push this forward until more information can be gathered. Deer Valley felt that way, and they continued it until certain dates went by, Racing Commission meetings, whether or not the property was going to be purchased by the original applicant. And Mr. Watkins, I'd like to speak about that in 1 second. But with no urgency involved, this next week is another Racing Commission meeting. There's a horseman agreement with the permit holder and the property owner due on April 15th. Whether on June 30th, the current permit runs out. Now, council states that this is just trying to bring the property all into one compliance, but it's far more complicated than that. This has been horse racing since the 50s. The properties has always been under the jurisdiction of regulatory bodies, the Department of Racing, and now, which is now a division of gaming. Each person had to qualify to buy that property. They had to be vetted. Unfortunately, in 2000, when this current applicant on these applications, he was less than truthful, he was then suspended a year for falsifying that original application. If I could just finish one item. The original application is not the same application brought to you today. It had a site plan, it had a different person, it had the aesthetics were going to be brought beautiful. He walked away September 15th. It's back in the original person that owns the property's application who's allowed that property to become deplorable. That property was fined $150,000 by the feds last year, HISA, for safety concerns on the property. Just table it. Let's try to gather as much information and make the best decision for our community. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have Paul Gilbert, Gregory Freeman, and Matthew Poole available to speak if necessary. It looks like Mr. Gilbert, would you? We will welcome Paul Gilbert on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you for your record. My name is Paul Gilbert. I represent Jerry Sims, who owns Turf Paradise. I just want to focus on the fact we're here to talk about land use issues. This is the only issue that is before the City Council at this time. Most of the arguments that have been surfaced by Mr. Nolan do not address land use issues. They deal with problems, alleged problems dealing with the Racing Commission, etc. From a land use point of view, we are here with a recommendation of approval from the staff. We're here with a recommendation of approval from the village on the general plan amendment. No recommendation from the village on the zoning, and that is because they continued the case, and then we showed up 3 times, and they didn't have a quorum. So at the end of that period, the chairman of the village committee suggested, and we agreed with his suggestion, that maybe it was time to move on and take the case forward, which we did. So they have not recommended denial or approval either way. The Planning Commission voted unanimously to support this for the general plan amendment and voted 7-1 to support it for the zoning. We were asked to reach out to the neighborhood groups by the staff, which we did, and I'll just quickly add that the groups that we appeared before were the, I'm trying to shorten this, Mayor, and it's causing me problems here. We appeared before the Black Mountain Community Alliance, the Bell Road Business Alliance, the Village Meadows Concerned Citizens, the Deer Valley Park Neighborhood Block Watch, Thrive, and Phoenix and Moonlight Cove HOA. None of those have registered any opposition. So we're here with firm neighborhood support. One last comment. 95% of Turf Paradise is already approved zoning. This just takes the small remaining 28 acres and brings it into conformity with the zoning that's already approved. For these reasons, we believe there are very cogent reasons to support this application. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do you know if Gregory and if the other speakers?
They are both here, and I'm sure
it's,
they would like to speak.
They would like to speak? All right. Then we will go next to Gregory, followed by Nina. Or Nina.
My name is Gregory Freeman. My address is 3250 West Greenway Road, Unit 151, 85053. I'm the chairman of the Bell Road Business Alliance. I also serve on the Zoning Commission where this was seen, and then we did not have quorum to approve. Mr. Gilbert and his team did an extraordinary job reaching out to our community, asking for our feedback, and then incorporating it into the design that he has brought to us. It's a huge swath of land. We're a city with many, many needs. And we, the business community, the Alliance of Local Block Watches, absolutely support this development and want to see it move forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll be welcome Nina and then Matt.
Hello, my name is Nina. I am the founder and director of Thrive Phoenix, a nonprofit organization serving the area along Bell Road from 7th Avenue to I-17. Since our inception, we have conducted 24 community cleanups, supported over 300 families with groceries and clothing, collaborated with the city to revamp the median, and are preparing to transform the parcel at the northwest corner of 7th Avenue and Bell. The progress we have made compels us to avoid leaving the property in its current state due to rezoning delays. Facilitating the rezoning process will not only open opportunities for future businesses, but also provide the families we assist with accessible employment, thereby enhancing the overall safety and well-being of our neighborhood. I know the people that live there. They could use businesses to open up so they can actually walk to their jobs. I'm talking about over 300 families that are not homeless. They are on the verge of being homeless. And we, to the gentleman's point that there are no interested buyers, there was an interest buyer, and he was really close. But because of the delay, he walked. And the downside about that is that we were getting ready to partner with this new buyer, and he was going to support us in our outreach efforts. It was promising. So I'm asking that we no longer delay, on behalf of my families that I work with, the possibility of having businesses there and opening up an opportunity for them to walk to their jobs would be phenomenal for that neighborhood and the overall safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Matt is our next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Poole, 2140 East Everett Drive, Phoenix, Arizona, 85022. I am here as the lead pastor of Roots Community Church, speaking on behalf of our congregation in support of the rezoning effort. You might be wondering why a church would care anything about a local zoning ordinance, but we do outreach efforts multiple a year, joining with the organization that just spoke with my wife, Thrive, and on our own merits to try to help the hurting and the needy in this area. One of the things that we have seen is that the latest census information is true. We know firsthand that the zip code falls well below the state averages in many key indicator areas, including economic categories. And one of the areas that unfortunately is over the state average is the percentage of people who are living in poverty in that area. The only reason that we're here today to speak in favor of it is because we don't want the delays to impede the sale any longer, because any of that development that should have started, with a buyer 7 or 8 months ago has now been delayed, and that has a ripple effect on the available opportunities for the people in that area. And when everyone has that same opportunity, all of us will rise. And so our initial goal is obviously spiritual development of the people in the area, but we are commanded by Scripture to also meet the practical needs of those as well. And so that's kind of, that is why we're here speaking on support. So there will be, all the blockades will be removed so that the gentleman who was trying to sell it
On this item. So we will close the public hearing. Thank you for everyone who's been working hard. This is a parcel with really important history and an exciting future in District 3. I did meet with someone who was considering purchasing it, but because of a reason not related to the city process, but particularly electric capacity for a use that they wanted, moved on. So just important. As imperfect as our processes are, there are also a lot of other things going on, and we will work on quorum on the village. Councilman Stark or Vice Mayor Stark has been working very hard on this, so I will turn to her for comments and a motion first on 79.
Thank you, Mayor. And actually, I think that Mr. Gilbert really set the stage. We're actually talking about 28 acres here. The vast majority of Turf Paradise is already zoned. And so this is a fairly small parcel of land. And they have done significant outreach. And I'm pleased to see that Greg and Nina and Matt were here to speak to it tonight. I appreciate everything they do. I am a resident of 85022, so this site is particularly important to me as well. So with that, I'd like to make a motion first to item 79, which is to approve per the Planning Commission recommendation and adopt the related resolution.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien, Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Item 80, Vice Mayor Stark.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I would like to make a motion to approve per the Planning Commission recommendation and adopt the related ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Guardado,
Yes.
Hodge Washington,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Very exciting potential. Thank you all. We now move to the final portion of our meeting, public comment, and I'll turn to our city attorney to introduce this portion.
Thank you, Mayor. During citizen comment, members of the public may address the City Council for up to 3 minutes on issues of interest or concern to them. The citizen comment session is limited to 30 minutes. The Arizona Open Meeting Law permits the City Council to listen to the comments but prohibits council members from discussing or acting on the matters presented.
Thank you. We'll begin with David Bonilla, followed by Chaska.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. My name is David Bonilla. I'm a cashier for SSP America at Sky Harbor. I am currently on a leave of absence to work as an organizer with Unite Here Local 11. We filed complaints alleging racial disparities in pay, hiring, and promotion by SSP America, a contractor chosen by the City of Phoenix to operate at Sky Harbor Airport. Less than 2 months after filing the complaint, my coworker Jasmine was fired. The EOD declined to investigate our complaint while the Attorney General's case is ongoing. Even though Phoenix has charged EOD with an independent responsibility to enforce Phoenix's anti-discrimination laws, it is unjust that the EOD is choosing not to enforce the laws to protect workers as the city intended. When will it be enough for this council to take what is happening at your airport seriously? The Attorney General oversees the entire state, and they've reached out and met with us. We are here today because SSP is your contractor. They are your responsibility. What message is the City of Phoenix sending when they are deferring to the state to investigate an issue with their own contractor? Do you think that all the allegations of racial disparities mean nothing? We're asking you to investigate these issues. Please put the issue of racial disparities at SSP on the agenda so that we can have a real dialogue and get to the bottom of what is happening at SSP.
Thank you. Chaska is next, followed by Jasmine.
Hello, Mayor and City Council. My name is Chaska Kogashal. I work for SSP America as a barista at Sky Harbor Airport. We have filed complaints alleging racial disparities in pay, hiring, and promotion by SSP America, a contractor chosen by the City of Phoenix to operate at Sky Harbor Airport. Less than 2 months after filing the complaint, my coworker Jasmine was fired. The EOD declined to investigate the complaint while the AG's case is ongoing, even though the council charged the EOD with the independent responsibility to enforce the city's anti-discrimination laws. It's unjust that the EOD is choosing not to enforce these laws and to protect its workers as it was supposed to. When will it be enough for the council to take what's happening at the airport seriously? The Attorney General oversees the entire state, and they've reached out to meet with us. We are here today because SSP America is your contractor. They're your responsibility. What message is the City Council of Phoenix sending when they're deferring the state to investigate its own issues? Deferring the state to investigate an issue with its own contractors. Do you think that all of our allegations of racial disparities mean nothing? We're asking you to investigate these issues, not just to blindly take our side. Put the issue of racial disparities at SSP on the agenda so that we can have a real dialogue and get to the bottom of what's happening at SSP.
Thank you. Jasmine is next, followed by Ann Ender.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. My name is Jasmine Glass. I was a cashier with SSP America at Sky Harbor International Airport until just a couple months ago. The last time I was here speaking to you, I informed you that we had filed complaints with the Attorney General and the Phoenix Equal Opportunity Department alleging racial disparities in promotion, pay, and hiring at SSP America. Less than 2 months after I became a public whistleblower, I was fired from SSP. So far, at least 9 outspoken union activists have been fired. We have filed charges with the Federal Labor Board alleging that our disciplines and terminations are unlawful because SSP is applying their policies in a discriminatory way to target union supporters. The EOD declined to investigate our discrimination complaint while the AG's case is ongoing, even though the city has charged EOD with the independent responsibility to enforce the city's anti-discrimination laws. It is unjust that the EOD is choosing not to enforce the laws to protect its workers as it's supposed to. When will it be enough for this council to take what is happening at your airport seriously? The Attorney General oversees the entire state, and they've reached out and met with us. Why isn't Phoenix taking this seriously? We aren't well off. Losing our jobs means dealing with being hungry and possibly homeless. Please, I asked you before to do what you can to ensure that our allegations of racial disparities are investigated. EOD's decision not to act without taking steps to investigate is unacceptable. Please put this on the next agenda so that we can have a discussion. Show us that it matters what your contractor is doing and hold them accountable. Thank you.
Thank you. Ann Ender will be our final speaker.
Thank you, Mayor Gallego and council members. Can you hear me okay? I'm going to read you an Instagram post that was posted last week by Chelsea Moldovan, and she has given me authorization to read this. 3 years ago, I stood in front of you and pinned you. As you swore in to be the most honorable and sincere police officer, I swore to always be by your side, to be your safe place, to be the place you want to come home to on good days and bad. I swore to always support you and pray for you as you headed to the streets. Earlier that month, we had celebrated our engagement and we were preparing for our wedding soon after, where we'd vow to love each other for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness, in health, not knowing that our marriage would soon stand one of the greatest trials. I will always be so proud to be your wife, the wife of an honorable and sincere police officer, and that will never change. I know you signed up to serve your community and your city. I know you signed up to protect us in harm's way. I know you signed up to do your best and get the worst off the streets. I know it meant your life was at risk, but I also know it shouldn't have to be. No officer's life should have to be. You didn't sign up to be shot, and Officer Diller didn't sign up to be murdered. Neither did he sign up to make his wife a widow and leave his son without a father. Neither did any officer wounded or murdered signed up to be. No one signs up for that. No one signs up to be part of a horrible story. This world is so very broken, darker than we can imagine or comprehend. It only continues to get worse. These women and men sign up to protect and serve, to be there when no one else will, to do their best so you can sleep well at night. They need us to be different, to support them, to have their backs when no one else does, to be there when evil strikes. I'm reading this to you because we have to come up with a solution to the violence against our police officers. It's unacceptable, and if our police officers don't feel safe, then how are they going to keep us safe?
Thank you. We are adjourned.
And I thought that's what I did as a police officer. I was there to help folks at times when it was probably the worst